Now we will try to find the pth root of unity. Before we begin, you must remember unity means 1. So now, this is the rectangular form, isn't it? Let us write in terms of complex number. What is the imaginary part over here? Is there any imaginary part? No. So it will be 0 plus 0i. So this is the unity. Now what next? How would you convert this to rectangular form? Just use the formulas. This is A, that is 1, B is 0. You need to solve it as it is. Now let me solve over here. A value is 0, so A value is 1, square root 1 square plus 0 square. This is how I find the radius 1. R is 1. What about the angle? Let's find tan inverse B is 0 divided by 1. It is 0 itself. But anyways, since A is positive, you do not need to add the pi. What is the answer? It's 0. Okay, now whenever we write 1, that is the complex number, in the complex form it is like this, but this is rectangular. We can't use distinct root formula because it is in rectangular form. You need to convert to polar form, and this is the polar form. Now you can use the distinct roots formula. We had just done in the previous section, so the same thing will be repeated now. Apply the formula. I hope you remember the formula. Radius r, what happens? R will be to the power 1 by p. Now which root they're asking? Eighth root. So 1 by 8. That is the thing. 1 to the power 1 by 8. How much is it? Anything to the power or root of 1, it's 1 itself. It does not change. So it's 1. Now what about cos? Theta is 0 plus 2n pi. As it is, write it divided by p value is 8. So now we write 8. Same thing goes to sine, but only I imaginary part is in sine. Now let's simplify this. 0 is gone. 2 1s are 2 4s are. So you will have n pi by 4. Even at the sine, it is n pi by 4. But what about this 1 radius? Multiply it inside. 1 times, it's the same thing. Even over here, it's the same thing. So this is how we get this. Now we have applied the distinct root formula. We have got this answer over here in polar form. What next? Whatever we did in the previous section, the same thing in the distinct root section, the same thing is repeated. Now you need to find the n values. So what are the n values? N always starts with 0. The first root is at n is equal to 0. Second root is at n is equal to 1. And it goes on till p minus 1, that is until 7. So the eighth root will be 7. Why? Because we start at 0, isn't it? Now how do we find the first root? All you need to do is substitute over here instead of n as 0. Let me do this. So cos 0 means this entire thing is 0, right? It'll be cos 0. What is the answer? Cos 0 is 1. Now what is sine 0? Sine 0 is 0, right? Let's just double check it. Sine 0, it's 0. So you will get over here in the first section, when you convert to rectangular, it's 1 plus 0i. So we can just write 1. So this is the first root. Let's do the second root now. For the second root, all you need to do is, over here, this is the first root we just now found. Second root, all you need to do is, over here, we see the equation, right? Instead of n, put 1. For the third root, instead of n, put 2. That is what we are doing. So I will show you cos pi by 4, because n is 1. Now press equal to, you will get 2 root 2. Let's double check the answer. Yes, it is root 2 divided by 2. Now let's make it for sine. What is sine? It's the same thing, root 2 by 2. But over here the I remains. Now, what is the n value for third root? When it is third root, n is 2. So let's substitute over here. So now we will do for sine because sine is already there. 2n is 2 pi by 4. What about the answer? It's 1. Where is it? So this is 1, yes. So now we will have plus 1i. What about the cos part? Let's change this to cos. And you can see over here cos is 0, so it is 0 plus 1i, one coefficient, you can just write it as I, right? So the 0 is gone, only I remains. That's why it's only I. In the first case there was 0 I, so only 1 remained. Same way you can keep on trying for other things. Just change the n value over here. N value is minus root 2 by 2, so it's minus root 2 by 2. But when it's sine pi 3 pi by 4, it will be positive. So let's do it. Sine, and the answer is root 2 by 2, positive. Don't forget to write the I. Same thing with this. Now when it's n is 4, it's 0. So the I part is not there. Whereas cos part will be there because it is minus 1. You can do it continuously for up till 8th root. That means this is n equals 7. This is 6 and this is 5 and so on. We did till 4. This is 5, 6, 7. Let me do the last one over here. So all you need to do is 7 pi by 4. The answer is root 2 by 2. And what about sine? Sine will be over here. That is minus root 2 by 2. So these are all the roots. First root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Okay, so the commas differentiate the root. This is how we can solve the root problem. It is by using distinct root. Most important thing to remember, whenever you have been given any question in rectangular form, you can't apply the formula. Whether it may be DeMoivre's theorem or distinct root, convert to polar form, then apply the formula. And usually the answer is asked again in rectangular form. So after applying the formula, solve it and then convert it back to the rectangular form. It will be a plus bi. This is how we solve it. So that is the end of this lesson. If you have any doubts, please do write in the comment section. And we also have come to the end of this first chapter, the first chapter in the term 3. I hope these videos have been useful for you guys. If you really found it useful, please do like these videos and hit the subscribe button. It will mean a lot to me. Thank you and see you soon. Bye bye, guys.